All right, so this is chapter 4, lesson 4 from California Math, your Common Core Edition, course 1. This is on multiplying mixed numbers. So I've written down 3 steps here, and I'll refer back to them as I go through this first example. The goal is you're given some fractions, and some of them may be mixed numbers. Here I have a regular fraction, but here's a mixed number, another mixed number, another mixed number. And we want to know how to multiply 2 mixed numbers together, or a fraction and a mixed number. And so we'll follow these steps. The first step is to look at your product and your factors in your product, and any mixed numbers that you see, convert those to improper fractions. So this one we're fine with, the 2 over 7 we'll just keep as 2 over 7, but 3 1/4, we'll go ahead and convert that to an improper fraction. That's the step 1 that I've written above. So 2/7 I keep the same, and then 3 1/4, 4 times 3 is 12, 12 plus 1 is 13, so 13 over 4. And that completes step 1. The next step that I suggested to do is look for any cancellation before multiplying. So one could go ahead and multiply these fractions together at this point and get 2 times 13, so 26, 7 times 4, so 28. So 26 over 28, that would be fine. But then it turns out that fraction, that answer wouldn't be in simplest form. And when we're asked to write something in simplest form and you're multiplying fractions together, it turns out that it's better to do the cancellation, it makes it easier, to do the cancellation before multiplying things out. So here I notice that I have a 2 in this numerator and a 4 in this denominator, so I can cancel. Remember, we can only cancel between a numerator and a denominator. We wouldn't be able to cancel any common factors, say, between this 2 and 13. That wouldn't be allowed. But 2 and 4, they have a common factor of 2. So 2 goes into itself once, and 2 goes into 4 twice. And now I might check for any other cancellation I could do. 13 and 2 have no common factors. 7 and 13 have no common factors. So I think I've done all the cancellation I can, and that completes step 2. So now, step 3, just multiply across. 1 times 13 is 13. 7 times 2 is 14. And I've written this and reduced to simplest form. If you've done step 2 carefully and done as much cancellation as you possibly can, then you won't have to do this step. It'll be done for you just because you were careful in your cancellation. Nevertheless, we should just do a quick check to see if we maybe missed something in step 2 as far as factors we could have possibly canceled. If I look at this, 13 and 14 have no common factors, so this fraction is in simplest form. Still good to check, but if you're real careful with step 2, then you'll have this step for free. It'll be done for you already. So let's move on to B. Here I have 2 mixed numbers, so I'll go ahead and convert them to improper fractions. So 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17, so 17 over 3. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4, so that's 9, so the 9 over 5. That completes step 1. Step 2, look for any cancellation that I could find. 17 and 3, no common factors. 17 and 5, no common factors. The 9 and the 3, they have a common factor of 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then I think that's all the cancellation that I could do between a numerator and a denominator. So now we go ahead and multiply. 3 times 17, that turns out to be 51. And if you have to do that calculation off to the side, that's fine. 1 times 5 is 5. And so there we have our final answer of 51 over 5. And once again, because we did our step 2 carefully, this fraction will be in simplest form, and so we do not actually need to think any more about it, but we still should check, just a quick check. Now, you want to be careful, because sometimes they may ask you to write your answer. Here I've just said write it in simplest form, but perhaps they may want you to write the answer as another mixed number. Give your answer as a mixed number. So we would want to be able to convert this answer back to a mixed number if the directions told us to do that. So I want to do one more similar example where we use this idea to compute the area of a rectangle, and the rectangle will have side lengths that are mixed numbers. All right, so we'll go ahead and compute the area of this rectangle. So I'll draw it first. And it's not drawn perfectly to scale. So the height of this rectangle is 1 7 over 8 feet, and the width is 2 1 over 5 feet. So again, not drawn perfectly to scale, but still we'll be able to solve the problem. Right? And the task here is just find the area of this given rectangle. So example 2, find the area. And I wanted to just do this example. It's not like the computation we're going to do is significantly different than example 1, but more just to remind us of the area of a rectangle formula. To find the area of a rectangle, we just multiply the base times the height. So we just need to multiply these two mixed numbers. So we'll follow the 3 steps above. 1 7 over 8 times 2 1 over 5. Step 1, convert to these improper fractions. I have 2 mixed numbers, convert them both to improper fractions. 8 times 1 is 8, plus a 7 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10, plus a 1 is 11. That completes step 1. Step 2, look for any cancellation that I could find. And I notice right away that I have a factor of 5 in this denominator and a factor of 5 in this numerator. So 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 goes into 15 3 times. I don't see any more cancellation, so go ahead and multiply it. 3 times 11 is 33, and 8 times 1 is 8. Do a quick check to make sure this is in simplest form, and it is because we did step 2 carefully. And so our answer in this case is 33 over 8 feet squared. So that's the units, these are area units. So I have a foot and then a foot. The units here, when we're describing area of a rectangle, will be feet squared, whereas opposed to these units were feet because they're just measuring a length, but this is now measuring an area. I think it'd be nice in this particular problem to convert this back to a mixed number, even though the directions didn't say so, because I think it kind of more fits in a bit better with how we'd actually say our answer in real life. If someone told us the dimensions of this rectangle and asked us what's the area, it'd be fine. It'd be a correct answer to say 33 over 8, but they might have been expecting another mixed number as an answer. So let me just briefly convert this back to a mixed number. 8 goes into 33 4 times. The remainder will be 1, because 8 times 4 is 32, so I'll have 1 left over. 8 feet squared. So the area of this rectangle is 4 1/8 feet squared.